You may or may not know this, but in Elden Ring there's a lot of weapons that actually have unique attacks as part of their combos that are not the unique skills or the Ashes of War on the weapon. So in this video we're going to round together 8 of these weapons that have unique attacks that are either interesting or do something very useful for you to try out in game to mix up your build or to just try something new. And if you do enjoy these videos, show support by clicking like down below and subscribing to the channel for all the other videos that we have for you guys, and let us know in the comments if you know of any more weapons that have unique attacks as part of their regular or their strong attacks, and we'll all learn together as a community. I'm Paradise Central and we're going to start off with the CARIAN Knight Sword. This is a straight sword embedded with a blue glintstone. It's a weapon of the knights sworn to the CARIAN royalty, and these knights' swords could serve as catalysts, letting them wield sorcerous battle skills. Despite numbering fewer than 20, this power made them a match for even the champions of gold in battle. Some nice flavour in the weapon description there. But what makes this weapon unique and pretty cool and interesting is its strong attack. You raise the weapon briefly, guarding, and then follow up with an attack. However, this brief guard is an actual guard that does work and does block enemy attacks as part of the strong attack of this sword. You will take some chip damage and some stamina damage, but the block does work. And it's one of the few weapons that I know of in the game that allow you to block while doing an attack input. You will need 10 strength, 10 dex, and 18 int to wield this, and you can find it in Liurnia of the Lakes just north of the 4 Bellfire's Grace Point, and it's found in a chest that is in a carriage being pulled by 2 giant trolls. And next up is the Frozen Needle, a razor-thin piercing blade of ice forged by E.G. the CARIAN Royal Blacksmith. It can inflict frost upon enemies, and it can launch its blade with a strong attack. The blade then immediately regenerates. This is really cool because the strong attack actually sends the blade of the weapon itself forward as a projectile, making this melee weapon have some ranged capabilities, and again this is just part of the strong attack of the weapon. It doesn't actually use a skill or an Ash of War or anything to do this. It does need 11 strength, 18 dex to wield it, and this is found in the King's Realm Ruins, which is near the road to the Manor Grace Point, in a chest inside a small room at the end of the underground area in the northeast of the ruin. And next up is the Meteoric Ore Blade. This is a katana forged from meteoric ore to dispatch life forms born of falling stars. It deals magic damage, and the blade is weighty, known to deliver slashes of such furiosity that the impact is said to resemble the crash of a falling meteor. Nice flavour in the weapon description here, but the interesting thing about this one is that the strong attack, both charged or uncharged, will raise the katana overhead, then bring it down with a powerful strike. However, it also has a forward step built into the strong attack, which makes it really good at slightly closing the distance when you are attacking something. And furthermore, the distance of the step within the strong attack seems to increase based on how long you've charged the strong attack. This is fantastic for catching people that are roll spamming in PvP. It also pairs really nicely with the gravitas skill on the weapon itself to pull players close to you and then follow up with a strong attack that has that step gap close built into it, which will usually catch them when they try and roll away. You will need 15 strength, 14 dex, and 18 int to wield this weapon, and you can find it in the Caelid Waypoint Ruins, found in a chest in a small room at the back area of the underground hall in the northwest section of the ruins. Next is the Mantis Blade, which is a curved sword with a blade at both ends wielded by the Cemetery Shades, the insect-ridden Grave Keepers. The blade is thin and sharp, and strong attacks unleashes a far-reaching slash. And the pretty cool thing about this, kind of as described in the weapon description there, is that the strong attack, both the charged and uncharged version, have increased range that makes the blade unfold like a praying mantis. This is really cool, and I had really high hopes for this one. I think visually it definitely is really good. However, the range of the regular attacks is quite short, and even the increased range of the charged attacks, the strong attacks, don't necessarily make up for that. However, do take note, you can spam the uncharged version of the strong attack to get use of the increased range. But I will say, if the normal attacks had this functionality, this weapon would have real potential. It does have 10 strength, 12 dex requirements, and it is dropped by the Cemetery Shade boss in the Gelmor Hero's Grave near the Volcano Manor. Next is the Short Spear, which is a very basic weapon. It's an exceedingly plain spear of modest weight, simple to wield comparatively to many of its peers, and its strong attack unleashes a series of successive piercing thrusts. Although it is a basic spear, as it says, it has this unique strong attack with an interesting variation. The uncharged strong attacks will deal a quick double thrust attack, which can be chained together twice. However, if you use a charged strong attack for the second attack in the chain, you'll actually deal 3 quick thrusts to finish the combo. This weapon will require 10 strength, 10 dex, and you can get it from the starting equipment of the Prophet class, so you already have it if you're a Prophet, or you can purchase it from the Twin Maiden husks at the Round Table Hold. And next is the MIQUELLAN Knight's Sword. It's a sword forged by the servants of Miquella of the Halig Tree, with a design modelled after those carried by the CARIAN Knights. Instead of glintstone, however, it's amber from the Halig Tree that's embedded within the blade. It's a sumptuous piece, yet it has never been offered to any knight. It is an ill-starred sword with no master. Interesting flavour there in the weapon description, but what makes this weapon in this list is its very interesting charged strong attack that has the user raise the blade and then place the sword behind them, and once fully charged you will lunge forward quickly with an uppercut. This is absolutely great for closing small distances, which makes it amazing for catching people off guard in PvP or while they're rolling away. You will need 11 strength, 11 dex and 18 faith for this weapon, and you can find it in the brace of the Halig Tree atop a bell tower that's nearest the prayer room site of grace. And next is the WARHAWK'S Talon. This is a talon sword that is affixed to the legs of the Stormveil's WARHAWK'S, but this one has been repurposed for human use. The blade is thin and lightweight, so as to not obstruct the hawk's mobility. Interestingly though, this weapon does a double slash for its strong attack that has you move forward several steps while you execute it. It is however a two-step combo, and if you use a second charged attack, you will follow up from the first one with a second moving double attack instead of a single attack. This is another great surprise gap closer and roll catcher for PvP. It has 10 strength and 16 dex as a requirement, and it can be found in Stormveil Castle by defeating the bladed Talon Eagles. It's a rare drop chance, and you can find a bunch of them near the Rampart Tower site of grace. And next up is the Iron Cleaver, a fairly large iron cleaver commonly used by the maltreated misbegotten. It's steeped in resentment, and these weapons are often swung wildly and relentlessly, often after rushing up to foes. And when it says rushing up to foes, it means it because the strong attack of this weapon will actually send you charging forwards quite a distance and then attacking. Again, this is absolutely great for gap closing as well as catching people off guard in PvP and while they're rolling. It will require 15 strength, 7 dex, and it can be found in Lindell, the royal capital. It's a drop chance from the misbegotten enemies that use this weapon. I would really love to know if you guys know of any other weapons that have unique combos or attacks that are not skills or ashes of war, because I'm sure there are more in the game and I've only listed 8 of them here for you guys. So if you do know, let me know in the comments down below and we'll all learn together. I'd also like to know if you plan to try any of these out, because if you've used a certain weapon type for many hours in game and then you switch to one of these, it's a whole new experience because of course your actual attack combos are different. If you do enjoy these videos, make sure to show support by clicking like down below and subscribing to the channel for all the other Elden Ring videos that we already have made for you guys. Speaking of other Elden Ring videos, the 2 videos on screen now we think you will really enjoy, so make sure to check them out, click the videos on screen above so that you don't miss out.